Howdy, folks, and welcome to episode 212, The Boiling Point. For those of us that use Freedom units, you know what that's all about. We got McMurray back this week. How you doing,
What's up,
sir?
everybody? How's it going, guys?
So, how was your time out in the backwoods of Missouri?
Phenomenal.
Did y'all get a
Yeah.
lot of rain?
Um, one of the weeks, yeah. Other than that, it really wasn't too bad, to be honest with you. It was real rainy one week, and then it was insanely hot the next week, and then it was just pretty pleasant. So no, it wasn't bad at all. Um,
Good, good.
I did make the interesting observation that the more kids seem to be, dependent on and constantly exposed to technology and screens, most of them, the faster they go full blown Lord of the Flies, which is pretty entertaining.
Nice.
Like we haven't even started hiking yet, and these little motherfuckers are all making spears and stuff. Um, so it was good.
Outstanding, outstanding. Well, this past weekend we had a great weekend in West Central Illinois doing some gaming. Reese was there. McMurray was not because he was, you know,
Working.
working and recovering from Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Flies
uh,
is my rest. That's my vacation. It was fantastic.
yeah, yeah. Um, and then we had a good crew, man. We had something
There's a
like
lot of people, dude.
yeah, we had like a dozen or more, and we had three newbies, three first timers there. So it's
Nice.
always good to add people to the mix, and they were pretty good dudes too. They weren't weird like me.
Yeah.
But Jay and I are the only two, and this makes sense. We're the only two that have made all 15 J3s.
Yeah, it's because it's Jay's party and yours brother.
Right, right. Well, I mean, the first 2 years, I came out first two or maybe first 3 years, I came all the way from Austin for that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, good times. Good times were had by all. Unfortunately, Chris Copeland and Mike Burke didn't make it. They both got hit by Nurgle and ended up being sick. But that's okay. Life goes on. Uh, better. I'm glad Copeland decided not to go because we were going to ride with him. And
Oh,
pardon my washing machine going ballistic over there. Um, yeah, we were going to ride with him from over here over to Illinois, and I really didn't want to spend 3.5, 4 hours in the same vehicle with someone who has the plague. It
just roll
didn't
the
have.
windows down. You'll be all right.
Yeah, right, right. But that was a good time. We I got to play in 5 different games. Got to play. Let's see. Thursday night after dinner, we just kind of hung out at the lodge and chit chatted while people waited for people to show up. Um, Friday morning, uh, what did we play Friday morning? I think I I'm drawing a blank. I know we played Reese's 54 millimeter Vietnam game, American Special Forces versus Tyranids.
Yep.
That was fun.
Saw that. That
Um,
looked awesome.
we played a what is it? Wizard Kings. It's a board game by Columbia Games from like 2000, 2003, somewhere around in there. It is a very, very high level game. Um that it's very strategic. Um,
Okay,
it's,
that was gonna be my question. Is it high level, like really, really extra crunchy, or just
no. It is there is no crunch to it whatsoever. Think. Do you remember the game Stratego?
uh huh?
Yeah, it's Stratego that's gone to the gym.
Okay,
So I don't know what your forces are. You don't know what my forces are. We come together, we lay them down, and uh, we see what happens.
are
So
those individualized counters, or is it like you have Army one and then a board with the units on it?
so you've got your lands down. You got your hex mat down, which has got your different islands and their cities throughout the islands or the continents or whatever that produce income.
Okay,
One, two, or three. I think there may be a four pointer,
okay,
and you move depending on how fast it says you move on the block. Um, and there's different lands, types of land like open plains and forests and mountains and swamps and stuff like that. And that will determine the speed through that particular type of land.
yeah,
Now, I I play the elves, so they don't get slowed down by the forests. Um, my brother played the undead, and they don't get slowed down by the swamps. That type of stuff.
yeah.
And so each block is representative of a type of force. So, for instance, I had one of my blocks was called a glader, and they have this ability to be able to move through forests and have a pretty decent attack. And how it works is there's a rating, and when uh, A, B, C, or D, and then a number one, two, three, or four. I think four is the highest, and the A determines, or the letter determines when your initiative is when you activate in combat, A going first, D going last, and then uh, the one, two, three, or four is the number that you have to roll or lower to hit. So if I have an A1, I pick up a single die and I roll. It's a D6. If I roll a one, hey, it's a hit. It reduces the unit that I'm fighting by one.
Okay,
If I have, let's say, the Gladers is a rank four, I pick up four dice and roll looking for ones. Defense always goes before offense. So if I've got an A2 and I'm fighting my brother and he's got an A1, well, he rolls his A1 before I roll my A2 because his A's go before my A's. His B's go before my B's because he's defending to my attacking.
okay,
Um, and then basically it goes for X number of turns, and there's different scenarios, but the scenario we played is who's got the most victory points, and victory points in this situation were how many what was the value of the towns that we controlled on the central continent.
okay.
So it was a pretty good game. It played. I've played it once. Jay's played it once. Reese had never played it. Of course, Eric brought the game and he's played it lots of different times. Um, but we were able to get the game completed about 3 hours, I think,
Oh wow,
three and a half
okay.
hours. So yeah, it was not a it's not a difficult game to play. and it's it moves pretty quickly once you know what
Nice.
you're doing. So we played that. Saturday night. My brother's buddy James Earls, he brought his uh, Defense of Hadley's Hope, where we had uh, xenomorphs going after the colonists, and that was a fun game. It was his own design. We didn't use anybody rules. They were his rules. They worked pretty well. There was no real turns, so to speak, other than um, he dealt out a card to each player, and Ace went first. Two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. As you know, it came your turn. You did your two actions. You moved, you shot, you did whatever. But on a timer, determined how frequently the aliens would come onto the come onto the board, and how he determined that, or not how he determined that, but how he signified that more aliens were going to come on. He had little LED lights at the entry points with a remote control.
Oh wow.
So so when it was blue alien's turn, he would click the he would click the remote for the blue light to turn on,
Yeah.
and then he would turn it off. And so if you're not paying attention and you're the colonists, you don't know that more aliens are showing up.
Yeah.
And he didn't explain that to the colonists. He didn't say why lights were turning on or turning off.
Holy butts. Okay.
Yeah, so um, each colonist player had three characters. I had Dr. Johnson, Pornstash, and the Beard.
Hell yeah.
Um,
I like the naming conventions a lot.
yeah, yeah. Of course, there was Newt. There was Timmy. Um, they were being helped out by a couple others. Um, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. We got down to it. We thought we were going to do great because we found what we needed to find right away in the mess hall. My character had to find biomaterial of the aliens to get it off world. I was basically the Paul Reiser character for the corporation. Um, and then
Was that
let's see.
biological material like you go find one and you kill it, or you do what
Well,
Reese used to do to turkeys?
no, 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 no. So there was all in the science lab. There was already captured dead face huggers and dead xenomorph samples.
I
I
got you.
just
Okay.
had to find a sample and get it off board. And then the character or the player that had Newt in their group and the player who had Timmy in their group had to get them, they had to get them off board. And then um, one of the other players had to, there was something, data files. They had to get the data files. Well, everything in on the game table was searchable. Well, we searched in the in the in the dining hall and found everything we needed right off the bat. It's like, oh man, this is going to be easy. We're going to get out
Nice.
of here before anything happens. Yeah, not so much.
It's been known to happen.
Yeah. Now we could set up two barricades that slowed everybody's movement down to one block per activation. Normally, the humans moved 3 blocks per activation, 3 squares, and the xenomorphs I think moved 4 per activation. They were designed to slow them down, give us a chance to shoot at them to kill them, right?
Yeah.
Well, also if we spent enough time, if we spent 2 actions on them, we could also set them up to blow up with with a remote detonator.
Nice.
Well, Pornstash found the remote detonator, and so he spent the time setting up the explosives. And I had a string of aliens coming down at us. That there was 4 of them coming down the hallway. They were slowed down the by the barricade. All I had to do was not roll a 1 to have it go off.
Probably shouldn't have said that.
Yeah. 1. Son of a bitch.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, about that.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. Also got in a game, but that was great fun. Like I said, that was Saturday night. Um, and then again, at some point in time during the weekend, I played Hero Quest,
All right.
which was good fun. And then we had one other. I got one other game in. We played the recently released uh, Illuminati card game from Steve Jackson Games.
Oh wow. Okay.
Played that Sunday morning before we wrapped up and headed home. We didn't get a full game in because we were, just learning the rules on it, but we got it figured out. And, so next time we get together, be able to play it. And it was a good game. It was very interesting, very very prophetic for the day and age we're in right now. So it's kind of crazy. Um, Basically, each player takes on a Illuminati group. Um, so, for instance, um, Justin Palmer was playing the UFO group. Reese was playing the Swiss goblins. They basically were the money hungry ones. I was the network, um, and when you draw your cards, what happens is that becomes a that is a group that you control. Like I had the one of the groups that I controlled was uh, the the Federal Reserve, and each card has an attack value, a defense value, and an income. And each Illuminati group has its own victory conditions. Like my victory conditions were control 25 points worth of transferable power. So each card has a power value. Some cards have a power value and a transferable power value that allows that card to provide assistance to another card that is used to attack the other group's uh, units, for lack of a better term. So it's a pretty decent game. Um, it was a lot of fun. Again, and I said this several times over the weekend. I could have been there the entire weekend and not played a single game, and still had fun, just hanging out with the guys and eating good food. and just chatting it up. So,
Nice.
but yeah, it was a good weekend overall. Now the next gaming weekend I am definitely going to be a part of is, of course, Battles and Brews in the Backyard,
Absolutely.
which is apparently the Three Trails Brewing didn't get back to Jay Wiley and about having it in the basement of the brew pub this year. So he decided to hell with it. We're just going to do it at his house, play some outside games,
Hell yeah.
and he's got a jet fighter game uh, that is going to be played out of doors. He's made some oh
Washers.
yeah, but the planes are made out of
Oh,
laser
they're
cut MDF. And if y'all remember the old style gliders that you would buy in the little hangy bag package, and you would pop it out of the balsa wood frame, and you stick it all together and fly it. It's that type of a situation. But he's got them on the end of sticks, probably like 3 foot long sticks, and you fly, and the distance you move is what you know. Let's say this F-86 has got a movement of 5 paces. So you literally pick up your plane on the end of the stick, walk 5 paces, and wherever you stop, you plant your plane into the ground like a flag, and then to shoot, you put the a box at your target, and you throw washers, and depending on where it hits on the box, is determines where the hit on the aircraft is. When you run out of washers, you've run out of bullets.
nice.
So that's going to be fun. And I think you're going to be bringing some boats.
I am.
Cool, cool. What are you bringing?
I think I'm gonna do destroyers.
Oh, nice. World War
Yeah.
II or
Yeah.
nice, nice. I like that. I like that. I will probably, because of course all my shit's packed up. I have got easy access to my Battle of Endor, uh, Battle of Endor using Galactic Heroes rules. So um, nice thing about that is I don't have to do anything for it. It's good to go. It's ready. So, um, but for Tacticon, I'm thinking maybe possibly breaking out my Leviathans ships
Yeah.
and doing some glorious Age of Steam Age flying battleships. I think I've got enough for at least 4 players, if I'm not mistaken.
Hopefully that
So,
stuff will be like out by then, so other people can get interested and hyped in it. Because otherwise, that stuff's hen's teeth. The issue is Catalyst is taking a trillion
uh,
years to fucking get done with that.
yeah, yeah. Yet they keep pouring out the stuff for BattleTech. Don't get me wrong, I like BattleTech, but come on, guys. This was the Kickstarter before the BattleTech Kickstarter, and you've had like 3 iterations of the BattleTech stuff.
Yeah, there's been two separate BattleTech Kickstarters that have started and fully fulfilled since.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, what are you gonna do? But anyway,
bitch about it on the internet.
yep. Uh, then this weekend is the big move. We've got to go over there next. We leave after work, head over there Friday night, get there Saturday, finish getting stuff packed up and ready to go, and then Sunday morning the loaders get there and going to put all our shit in the truck, and then we drive over here and unload it into a storage shed that we still have
Nice.
to that we're going to be getting the keys for probably tomorrow, and
Nice.
then from there, the limited things that we are going to have here at Morgan's house will get moved in here. So
Nice.
that's what's going on here.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, not too shabby. Like I said last week, I do have my printer, my resin printer set up. Printed up this guy. He's a not uh, Tyranid
Hmm.
Goliath or some shit like that. I don't know. And then a couple of these guys.
Nice.
So for Chris Copeland, he's wanting some of them to, you know. Yes, Telemachus, it's a Carnifex. Thank you. Um, and Warriors. There you go. Yeah, Carnifex and Warriors. Um, I skipped the whole starting off today with Walkabout Games saying hey ho about 7:10, and then about 7:40 Charles came in with a good salutations, and then 7:41 boiling point. Are we going to be boiling lobsters or shrimp? I'm a shrimp guy, to be honest. Um, Lobster's okay, but if I'm going for deep sea crustaceans, I'm more of a crab person. Telemachus says you might be a gamer if your morning routine resets every time you die in traffic. Yeah, yeah. Nord's in the house. How you doing, Nord? Glad you're here, buddy. How goes the evening? It goes. It goes. Um, Living in the basement in July when it is 86 degrees outside, and I'm having to wear a sweatshirt. So, I got that going for me because it is cold enough to hang meat down in this joint.
That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it is. It is. Upstairs is fairly comfortable. It's not too shabby, but down here it is cold. Cold. So um, Reese isn't with us tonight because he is spending some much needed time with his lovely wife. She did allow him to break free and come gaming with us over the weekend. So, and they've been dealing with all kinds of garbage with the move into the new house. They had to do some repairs to the flooring, and when I mean repairs to the flooring, they actually had to tear out some of the old subfloor planking and put in new subfloor. Uh, and then they had a bit of an issue with the septic tank, deciding that it wasn't gonna actually be a tank. Apparently, he said what had happened is when they decided to put in plumbing on the house, they just routed everything to go to where the old outhouse was and didn't actually put in an actual container tank. So there's an inflow, there's an outflow, and just dirt.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell
He
yeah.
literally had to deal with a shit show.
Heck yeah.
So, uh, Telemachus, like caught on that this was a Carnifex and we had some Warriors here. My buddy Gordon's in the house. How you doing, Gordo? Glad you could be here. And Hexy, sexy Hexy, how you doing, sir? Glad you could make it. Have you been playing any games recently? Love to know what you guys have been up to lately. And then welcome
Chevy's
out is
been
back.
Chevy's been playing the hell out of Last Chance for Victory from the Line of Battle series. He's been slaying that thing.
There you go. So I know he and Todd have been doing some online stuff.
Yep, with their GBA or GCACW,
Yeah.
absolutely. Toddy Boy and I are going to play A Most Fearful Sacrifice
Oh
on
yeah.
Friday. I am psyched.
Cool.
Yeah, dude.
Outstanding.
Yeah, we played a couple of turns. Um, excuse me. Right before I left. It's going to be awesome. Granted, there's 42 turns,
Good lord.
but yes. Uh huh.
So that's the one that recently came out that covers Gettysburg, right?
Yeah, they just did another Prince Gambit. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh huh.
And is it how crunchy is that one? Is it pretty in depth?
It's not wild. Um. Uh. It's not. Let's see. It's not too bad. There's just stuff that's a little different. That's not real strict. Um. Board game stuff necessarily, but it's pretty good.
All right.
It's pretty good.
Outstanding.
The combat resolution system is not like a traditional CRT and everything that you get in a lot of games, even crunchier games. If anybody's played Blind Swords, any of the Blind Swords games, it's pretty similar to that.
Fair enough.
But
Um,
very, very good.
like I said, Chris Long is back with us. How you doing, Chris? And Hexy is confirming he has been playing GBACW. And Charles is doing miniatures. He's painting and prepping for Silver Bayonet Gothic Nappy Horror.
Nice. Sweet.
There you go. There you go. Um, so yeah, overall things been going well. Work is today was I don't know about anybody else, but this was the Mondiest Wednesday that had ever Wednesdayed.
Fair.
Had some crazy shit going down. I won't bore you all with the details, but we're making changes at the company that it makes my life a little difficult until we get past the cutover from old to new.
Nice.
So, but by going to the new, it makes everybody's life easier.
Outstanding.
So, but yeah, all in all, pretty good. Besides doing the Great Fearful Sacrifice with Toddy, what else you got going on?
Um, in the way of gaming, the new normal Tuesday night stuff, we played 1 hour skirmish yesterday with some AWI stuff. That was always fun. That's a quick and easy, fun just game to play. Um, there is actually a short AAR for that. If anybody is on the Big Muddy Historical Gaming Alliance Facebook page, which is our kind of local St. Louis area uh, historical gaming page. So that was pretty fun. Um, no idea what next Tuesday is. I've been painting up some 10 millimeter Lord of the Rings.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
So are those 3D printed, or did
They are.
somebody actually cast some?
No, they're all 3D printed.
Oh, okay.
Um, a bunch of them from Wake's Emporium, some from a place called Varus Miniatures, some off of Thingiverse. Yeah,
What
yeah.
what what forces are you working on there?
Currently on the paint table is a bunch of Gondor stuff and some orcs. A whole bunch more orcs waiting, as well as some dwarves.
Very
So
cool. Very cool.
yeah,
What rule set are you gonna run with those?
no idea. Probably a bunch, to be honest with you. Maybe a little bit of War Master, um, Lords and Lands. Somebody said some game called Fantasy Battles. We were talking about just essentially playing the Middle Earth strategy battle game or whatever, but using a stand instead of a figure.
Oh, there you go.
I do know that base size and shape is obnoxiously important in that game, though, so I'm not sure how well that would work out.
Right.
Um, because the whole game kind of focuses around on how many of your models you can pile in to base contact with your enemy's models and shit like that.
Yeah.
Um, but whatever. The nice thing is there's 8 trillion different things we could play.
Yeah. I mean, I do like War Master.
It
It's a
is.
fun time.
I mean, hell, we could even, excuse me, we can even, um, group up the stands and play like Hail Caesar with them if we wanted to.
Oh,
It,
there
it
you go.
You could do that. You could put a sable them onto Kings of War bases. It's yeah, you can do anything with it. It really
Yeah. That's the nicest thing about 10 millimeter stuff is it becomes very versatile very quickly.
yeah, and when it's um like the IP, the background is all already there. It's just okay. Well, what rules do we like that we can adapt to play this?
Right.
So it should be quite fun. I think when I finish the Gondor guys who are on my table now, who are very very close, I should have a unit of Rangers, a couple of units of just swordsmen, and then maybe 3 or 4 units of spearmen, as well as a unit of cavalry. And then I'll break over to
Nice.
doing just a butt ton of orcs. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so it'll be good. It'll be
Oh,
fun.
cool. Yeah.
What else? Couple guys that picked up other games recently, locally here. So like, what the hell is it called? That Viking game that just came out. Pillage. That I think Osprey just put out an English translation of the rules for. So, there's a guy who's all jacked up to do that. He's real excited. That ought to be entertaining. I think I'm going to print out some War Games Atlantic Vikings and paint them up. Uh, Shit, what else? Hmm. Oh, that game Guards of Trader's Toll that War Games Atlantic put out, where you run a team of village guards in a low fantasy setting. Who knows? Should be fun. I think I might get tasked with terrain for that. Um, I tried re-leveling my Neptune. I must have messed that thing up in some sort of fantastic way. Um, that thing might go the way of a couple of my other printers, where it's, hey man, if you're looking into getting into 3D printing and you're a tinkery kind of person, here man, just try this thing, get after it. Um, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, I can tinker with some stuff. Apparently, 3D printers are not one of those things.
Yeah.
So that's fine. It doesn't bother me. I have more than gotten my, return on my investment for that thing, both in, a couple commission prints and just the stuff I've printed out on it. So
Right.
I did pick up an any cubic job, one of the ones Jeff has that he really really enjoys. Uh, so it's a little bit bigger. Apparently, it doesn't necessarily fling the table around quite as much,
Yeah.
which will be nice. But most importantly, it'll kind of kickstart that again because I got real burnt. You know how I am with 3D printing.
Oh yeah.
It's working well, and I'm just printing my dick off, and then something happens, and it's oh shit, I can't figure this out. And I'll give it a few tries, three, four, five, six tries over the course of a few months, and I just get real down on it and a little burnt out, and then you know eventually something works right again, and boom, I'm back to holy shit, I just printed way too much.
Right. Oh.
But
Chris Long says I gave my old printers to my brother so he can pull his hair out fixing them.
exactly, exactly. So,
Well,
and
like I
honestly,
said,
what's up?
I've got a place for my my resin printers. I really don't have a place uh, for my Neptune yet. I'm hoping that when we get I'm not gonna have my big desk down here because it would just take up way too much space. But I'm hoping that we can get the Donna's got two desks in her office right now that are uh, big enough to be able to have my stuff on it, and maybe enough room to put the printer on it, and then she can have the other side of the other side with her desk with her stuff, such as her sewing machines and whatnot. So hopefully, I'll have my FDM printer back up and running here shortly. We'll have to
Nice,
see.
nice.
So, but we're hoping to also find a place to live, and well, I mean, not immediately because we need to get some cash saved up because it ain't cheap moving into a rental place that's not owned by your brother.
Yeah, that's the truth.
So, you okay? All right. So, but Chris Long asks if you do 10 millimeter AWI.
You know, Chris Long, that is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful question. Because one Mr. Henry Turner just had quite a sale on a number of his files. Um, yeah, probably so soon here. I don't have next to any AWI figures right now. Um, and it's really a period that fascinates me. I've got a little bit of 15 mil um, French and Indian war stuff, but not a whole lot. In painting the British French and Indian war stuff, I remembered, oh shit, these uniforms suck. So I know at 6 and probably at 10, those uniforms will be small enough that they won't bother me. But I did grab a bunch of those because I also really, really, really still want to put on a Battle of St. Louis game in 6 mil, um, just so that I can fit a giant amount of the earthworks and then Fort San Carlos on the table.
There
So
you go.
that will certainly happen. I think I've resolved myself to the fact that I'm not going to spend a bunch of money on, and not even that much money, but I'm not going to buy a whole bunch of different Bacchus packs to use, three or four or five bases of miniatures out, or strips of miniatures out of each of those packs. Um, I think what I'm probably going to be looking at now is just printing a ton of Woodland Indians, and then he's got a cool pack that is Continentals in town dress, which is pretty perfect because everybody who is engaged there, at least on the um, it's a Spanish side, but the St. Louis side were essentially just town militias. There were a couple of slightly more regular militia out of St. Genevieve, about an hour and a half south by drive from St. Louis, but most of the engaged forces were certainly uh, just town militia. So, excuse me. But yeah, so either way, that's kind of a long term semi back burner project. Uh, the the 250th anniversary of that isn't until 2030, and I would imagine by then it'll certainly be a thing. Um, yeah, I think it was May 26th, 1780 was the date. So we'll see. It's certainly something that might be one of those projects, kind of like a bunch of my stuff, right? Where over the course of a few years, I just wind up painting more, and then I paint 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 more, and I paint more. Like the pirates or the World War II stuff, right?
Yeah.
I've got 300 or something pirates that are painted because I just would paint. Well, this year I painted, 40, 50 of them. This year I got kind of hairy on it, and I really gnarled down, and I think I painted 120 pirates or pirate adjacent figures, so like natives and shit. Um, a couple years ago when I did kind of the year of the pirates for battles and brews and all that, 72 years ago, summer of 23. Um, so it'll probably turn into one of those. But yes, Chris long story short, at the current time, I do not own any physical 10 mil AW. I do own 10 mil AWI. I used a bunch of 10 mil AWI figures for my Imaginations armies back in the day. Back on that other channel. Now that I'm
Yeah.
thinking about it, I do. I actually have a fair number of AWI artillerists in because I used AWI for my artillery for that. So in all actuality, shit, I do have 10 mil AWI. Chris Long. That was a really long yes or no answer. What's going on, Chris? Mr. Walkabout, you doing 10 mil AWI?
He bought a very big collection of files.
From who?
I don't know.
Well, that's why I'm asking him. I don't even know who else makes 10 mil AWI STLs, to be honest with you, other than Mr. Turner, which it very well could have been his.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was a solid 5-6 minute meander there. I
Hit.
did tell them about my new printer, Jeffy. I'm really excited. The cool thing is I found a bunch of free terrain for, again, 10 millimeter, like Lord of the Rings and stuff, that I'm probably going to wind up printing a bunch of. Mainly because I also chose Gondor because the figures were semi easy to paint, and the terrain is balls easy, buddy. I'm going to prime that shit light gray, do an overblow of white, and then it's just a little bit of weathering, and we're pretty much fucking done. Like between Osgiliath and Minas Tirith, outstanding. And that's what I don't know what it is. This year, for years, I have kind of intentionally not really gotten into big walls, right? Like I've never owned terrain of large walls.
Right.
I wound up with that at the start of the year. I got a whole bunch of blots MDF terrain. So I've got a large, like Bronze Age city wall that I put together and painted. Again, the nice part of that being it's you know, tan stone. So that was not a terrible venture. Um, and now I'm sitting here looking at these goofy things, and man, those walls of, Minas Tirith or Gondor walls, pretty fucking cool. Could definitely print those with a, 10-inch by 10-inch build plate. I could probably print a lot of those. Um, so either way, uh, yes, yes, just like, oh man, if I decide I want to do, fuck, I don't know. For the honestly, I know we talked about what rules am I going to use. The
Hmm.
nice thing about all these files that I got is they all have single figures as well as strips,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't be hard at all to do a cool little small scale version of "Hello, Mister Wardrobe." A little smaller scale version of Middle Earth strategy battles or whatever. Also, um, half scale or whatever.
Right.
Because I went and I dug out. I have a bunch of the really old, like 2001, 2, and 3 Lord of the Rings source books that Games Workshop put out, like Siege
Right.
of Gondor and Shadow and Flame and stuff, and all those.
Yeah.
It would be pretty cool to play those scenarios, but building, painting, 4 feet of this Gondor wall, and then having to build and paint 4 feet of this Gondor wall might not be super fun. 2 feet of 10 millimeter Gondor wall, that's a fucking evening.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that I can get down on. Um, so it should be quite entertaining. I'm actually looking forward to that quite a bit,
Very cool. Very cool.
especially because I think that game is mainly meant to be played on like a 4x4 table.
Hmm. Yes,
So,
definitely.
like, I was looking at different 2 foot by 2 foot boxes essentially that I've built in the past and just going, shit, I could do this like real hard. You know what I mean? Like essentially just make a 30 by 30-inch box that I flip the top over on, and it's a textured game table,
Yeah.
and then it's 6 inches deep. So okay, here's all the terrain I could want to put out. Um, I did that with what was that? I made a 2x2 box way back in the day for some tiny scale game. Shit. Um, that's gonna bug the hell out of me. But I essentially wound up getting a 4x4 chunk of good sanded birch ply, you know,
Yeah.
and um, so I had the 2 inch or 2 foot by 2 foot section, and then I made this essentially skirts out of the other 2x2 section as well as internal dividers. So that then, because when you never pack, edge to edge to edge to edge to edge to edge to edge terrain. So I found that I could really lay that shit in there. Um, and so I got, enough terrain crammed in there that I could really fill 3 tables pretty effectively on that little 2x2 gaming surface. And then on the bottom, I had just what the hell game was that? I don't remember. Either way, I essentially just made a 2 inch compartment that was this almost the entire same size as the rest of the container, right? Just to fill the internal volume. And then I had uh, plastic cases that I could slide into it that then had a dowel on the inside to hold that I could put down before I put the lid back on the box
Yeah.
to hold the plastic cases inside. It worked far better than I thought it would. Lancashire Games is 10 millimeter ACW. I have a lot of, well, I don't have nearly as much as you do, Chris. Um, which you should absolutely just get after, just slaughtering painting. But I do have some 10 millimeter ACW from Old Glory. Same thing from that Imaginations campaign. It was quite fun to paint for. But I think my small scale ACW aspirations are going to stick with 6 for now. Again, Brian and I coming up in September are going to have our grand ACW paint off for the Going the Distance challenge because he bought that godforsaken set from Warlord. And in response, I bought one of the Bacchus Palamos starters for 6 mil ACW. And so in September, we're going to see how far we can each get through those unique challenges, as it were. So, look forward to that. But Colts 3D, 10 millimeter AW on it. What's that, Chris?
That's the link that Mr. Long sent me.
Oh, okay. No, I don't want to kill the Colin on stage. You bought the godforsaken boxes. I don't think I've been this disappointed in you, Chris Long, since I found out you were Canadian.
No, and we lost him.
My hand to God, I did not mean to exit out right there. Chris Long, I love you, buddy. Oh, Lord have mercy. I thought I was closing out of the texture so I could go back to seeing what was going on. I apologize, Chris Long. Jesus, man, that was rough. No, I felt like a real low down piece of shit after that one.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay.
All right. Oh, there we go. Okay. 19 search results. Hmm. Oh, God. Why? Why is there so much just trash at pop up advertising?
That's how they keep the prices low.
Dog, I get that, but I can't even read the shit that is up there.
Well, yeah, there is that, but
Holy shit, these are cheap. Quit fucking doing this. This is dumb as shit. Oh, wow. Ranks of resin. Huh. So, Chris Long, do those come on the strips, or do you have to use those little blender files to put them onto the strips? Because those do indeed look pretty badass, man. I don't know how to see necessarily what we're looking at. Let's see. Oh wow, there is certainly a lot of stuff there. I might wind up grabbing a couple of these files as well, just because like the gun files would probably be pretty awesome for artillery because he's got a whole variety of cannons. One of them looks like a little grasshopper, like a 6 pounder, and a bigger guy. Nice, especially for less than $3. That's pretty awesome, Chris. Thank you, buddy. Um, there's AWI artillery crew, and these look pretty outstanding. They really, really do. Hmm. Thanks for the link, Chris Long.
He says he did ECW for free on Thingiverse.
EC to English Civil War?
Yep.
There you go. Hell yeah. That's where I got all of my dwarf files for Lord of the Rings. Here's a question for you guys. If anybody knows of 10 millimeter Rohan STLs, please holler. Because the guy who's kind of working on this project in concert with me and I both very much would like to take a shot at doing some Rohan stuff, but can't find any files, which is really disappointing. So, like I said, if any of you guys know of any, holler, because that'd be pretty slick.
Let's see here. He says he uses those for King and Parliament. He'll send you links for the 10 millimeter Lord of the Rings. He has tons saved.
Nice. That's pretty outstanding. Thanks, buddy. Thank you from the ungrateful Americans, which I guess makes us grateful Americans, but that's not the point. I appreciate you, Chris. Thank you. Yeah, I kind of walked
um,
myself in a circle there.
yeah. Mutt says the problem I have with the small stuff like 10 millimeter or less is you're forced to play them like rank and flank. Eh, not
Man,
necessarily.
you 100% missed what we were talking about earlier for like probably 10 minutes there with building a board in on a box.
Yep.
But that's okay, Brian. We can go over it all again at some point in time. Just holler when you're free.
Pexy says I have Henry's stuff plus all of Eskis's ACW stuff.
Ah, yeah, Jeffy has a ton of Escus ACW. I know he really likes them. I think that's what he was printing his ACW in when he was going to do Gettysburg by Regiment.
Uh,
What about you, Chris? What you've been hobbying on anything? I know you printed off the NIDS.
so yeah, well, these are for my buddy Copeland.
Yeah,
These are supposed to be 15 millimeter.
that looks about right because those things are like the size of a baseball, and if they're in 28,
Yeah, and I guess the Warriors are supposed to be pretty tall also.
yes.
Um, so these are kind of test prints for him. Um, so at Tacticon last year, um, our buddy Merle Dillinger, uh, gaming guy over here in the Kansas City area, really good guy, had a plethora of 3D printed 15 millimeter GW stuff that when I mean a plethora, I mean he had like Gene Stealers and Space Marines and Chaos Space Marines and Imperial Guard, etc., and so forth. Um, Vehicles, troops, etc., that he sold to Copeland and my brother and Joel collectively, and then forwarded the 3D files to Copeland. Well, Copeland doesn't have a printer, so I become his print farm.
Nice.
So um, he he wanted me to see what I could do with these guys, and I think it turned out pretty nice, all things considered. I need to clean up the some of the supports, but yeah. And if anybody's wondering why I've got this pink cast of light coming this direction, um, Donna has a I don't know what type of damn plant it is, a ficus or some shit. I don't know. Anyway, being in the basement, it doesn't get sunlight, so we've got a grow light over here, and it's currently in.
Oh, or weed?
Yeah, no, it's not weed, but
Oh,
so yeah, yes, Chris. I am Copeland's dealer when it comes to 3D printing of critters. So Reese is in the house. I hope Jessica is either A, asleep or is aware that you're watching. We'll do
he's
our
actually
best to.
currently pooping. He's got another 3.5 minutes.
Well, there you go. Um, so, uh, so yeah, I'm gonna. The next thing I'm gonna do is kick out some gene stealers for him and see how those turn out for him. So
Nice.
now, now what is going to happen with all of them? I don't know. I think the idea is to get them put together to play Quadrant 13.
I have a bunch of 15 millimeter 40K that I printed. I printed a bunch of guard. I painted up a bunch of guard. And then I have a bunch of orcs and stuff too.
Yeah. So, but like I said, I think the plan is to get some Quadrant 13 going over here. Um, we've got a little gaming group, Copeland and Joel, and our friend John Isbrand, and Joel's son, who I think recently turned 30 or some such. Anyway,
God damn, you guys are old.
yeah, we are. Yeah, we are.
Uh,
My oldest grandson turned 22 this year.
Jesus, fair.
Yeah, I know. So, um, yeah, I think we get together about once a month to do some gaming. So, not going to have any in July because we've already had our July gaming event over in Illinois. But hopefully we can get something going in August. And of course we've got Battles and Brews. I'm hoping we can get Copeland and Joel to show up, and Mike Burke get him down there.
I was about to say, yell at Mike too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely gonna let him know. So, but yeah, things are coming along. Things are coming along. Um, I'll start to be able to get a little bit of hobbying in once we get all moved over here. So I have no idea why the dogs are going absolutely batshit crazy
They're
upstairs.
going ham, dude.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Walkabout says need to know no driver and gunner on 50 cal. Actually, 50, machine gunner and driver would work out great. I think he's talking about what he just jumping Jehoshaphat. Um, he just posted in the World War II group an M3 half track
Yeah, with the toe on it.
with something on it. I don't know what that. I
It
guess
looks
that's a
like some
toe.
sort of, yeah. It
I
looks
don't know if that's supposed to be a
beautiful.
toe or just supposed to be a just a really beefed up machine gun for printing something so small.
Oh, that's fair.
So, but yeah, it looks great, and I I wish I had the patience to figure out how to do stuff like that
Fair.
because I don't.
Fair. I'm just excited to see the those Lord of the Rings files. That's really kind of captivated me.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it's
Yep, smoke break's
badass.
over.
Oh, bye,
take
Reese.
it. Take care, Reese. Glad you dropped in for a little while. Yeah, we lost Reese, but we got Chris Long back.
There you go. Hell yeah, Chris Long. We are just talking about how excited I am to see Lord of the Rings files because those are quite fun.
Yep,
Um,
definitely. Um, and we lost him again. We need to get him set up on a computer. Um, I do need to make a trip over to Tim Hortons in the not too distant future because I definitely need to get some decent. Uh, definitely need to get some decent. Excuse me, decent donuts going. Hexy says I'm old and I don't poop as much as you all. Eh, sometimes you got it, sometimes you don't. You're all thumbs tonight.
Dude, I don't. Oh, so I don't know if it's something with a new version of StreamYard or something. It doesn't open up in Chrome. It just opens in whatchamacallit, which I know is
Safari.
everybody's. Yeah, there you go. Or no, sorry, it doesn't open in Safari. It just opens in Messenger,
Huh.
which is a bit of a disaster. Be real honest with you. Um, but whatever. So, um, yeah, I just manually, excuse me, open it up in Chrome, and hopefully it'll stick around now.
Yeah, you should be okay.
Such is life. It
Hey,
happens.
Scala, how you doing?
Mr.
Uh,
Scala, how we
yeah,
doing, man? How's it shaking? How's it hanging?
that would definitely be correct, Scala. It would be Hexlax.
Vigatus and Shotzi. Not to get all weird with it or anything, but I was getting all weird with it.
Hey, it's not weird unless you make it weird.
Well, I'm pretty good at doing that, but that's all right. Got to be good
Eh,
at something.
eh.
Got to be good at something. Oh man,
If not now, who? If not when, why?
yeah, exactly. What Chris said. Be weird with it.
Yep.
To quote Frank Reynolds from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I'm going to get really weird with it. Danny DeVito's a national treasure.
Oh, I love Danny DeVito.
Ray Perlman's okay. Danny DeVito's the man.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, Scala. It's only weird if you break eye contact. There you go. You
Man,
got to be committed, man. You got to be committed.
I have really fucking weirded people out while maintaining eye contact, but I do appreciate the credit. Sometimes maintaining eye contact makes it weird. I'm gonna be real honest with you.
It depends on the situation.
I have definitely been in that situation. Um, like that first time you something makes a noise and you look up while you're pissing at a urinal.
Yeah,
It gets way more weird if you don't immediately break the eye contact.
you're right.
Like I'm gonna be.
Breaking contact. Hold on, I gotta go turn the dryer off.
Oh, okay, there you go. I was like, "Are you peeing right now?" Jesus, that's fucking heinous, dude.
Now, if I hadn't turned the dryer off,
It would have
it would have
exploded.
made that it would have made that buzzing noise for 10 seconds for every minute until
It exploded.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Niguea says just don't wink.
Winking and blowing kisses are the two surest ways to get punched in the face when you make eye contact while pissing.
Exactly. And then Scala says, stare him down, show dominance.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, again, if you're gonna do it right.
Hey, commit. You gotta commit.
That or you just each progressively take another step backwards until somebody has to play the sonar game and find water on water contact again. Um,
Oh,
the last one for our tried and true minor sexual harassment bordering on arrest challenge is as soon as you make eye contact, immediately switch to little boy peeing, and that dude's gonna leave. Nobody sticks around in a bathroom with a dude taking a little boy pee. For those of you who are not as cultured as apparently Chris and myself are, a little boy pee is I don't know how many of you have sons or nephews or somebody else,
or pictures
and
of yourself.
yeah, in that like 6 to 9 years old range. Yeah, probably not even that. Probably more like 4 to 6,
Yeah,
maybe 7.
yeah.
But when you pee
You
by
drop.
dropping your pants all the way down to the ground,
Oh yeah, you drop full trow.
oh yeah, that is the ultimate way to fuck with people. Is little boy peeing in a public place. That used to be our, um, excuse me, our like standard go to for like food challenges or whatever. You'd be in a restaurant. It's like I bet you can't eat 12 Taco Bell tacos faster than I can eat 12 Taco Bell tacos. You're fucking on. You're gonna regret this. And then the loser had to go little boy pee in the bathroom at the Taco Bell. It is quite entertaining. Like the greatest of fun, to be honest with you. Especially when you're somewhere entertaining.
Oh yeah.
We used to do that in Farmington all the time. And it was just absolutely fucking wonderful. Um, except one time, uh, so I definitely won this particular food challenge, right? And so my buddy Brandon had to go, you know, and little boy pee because them's the rules, them's the breaks, kids. Figure it the
Yeah.
fuck out. Like go, no dilly dallying, or then you're gonna have to do it twice and somewhere else. Um, and apparently he walked in and some kid was in there taking a piss and he had to just turn around and leave because he immediately just started losing it laughing because that kid 100% upstaged all of us by already doing it. Um, Goddamn legend, kid. Good for you. Uh, and then we all remembered, oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, you're right. It is 11 o'clock on a Tuesday, but this is also Farmington, Missouri.
Right.
There's kids in the Walmart, there's kids in the Taco Bell. It's just how it works. Um, but yeah, it was quite entertaining.
Scala says, I owned a bar for 10 years. I'll take the worst thing ever in the men's room over the average Saturday in the women's room anytime.
110%. 110%. The only time I ever had to clean up blood in the men's room was after bar fights, which usually I got to participate in as an employee.
Right.
Fucking everyday occurrence in the female restroom was just you walk in there and it looks like somebody got goddamn axe murdered. What the fuck is going on? Like, I realize I'm no expert on, female plumbing and stuff, but sweet Jesus, dude. It looked like Jack the Ripper paid the fucking bar in Fulton, Missouri a visit, dude. Like, this is small town Missouri, ladies. That and stop pissing in a little fucking. It's gross enough emptying out a tiny trash can full of fucking tampons and shit without somebody pissing on top of them. You know how disgusting that is? Just go piss in the alley like dudes if you're just gonna pop a squat.
Right.
Like, ew, that's gross. Bitch, I gotta fucking pick up a plastic bag full of other people's soiled tampons and your piss? Don't talk to me about gross, you disgusting hose. Jesus. Sorry. Get a little heated about that one every now and then again still, because what the fuck, man?
Hey, we haven't had a good McMurray rant in a while, so.
That's fair. Bitches are nasty in bars, dude.
Hey, never trust something that bleeds for 3 to 7 days and doesn't die.
You're goddamn right. You're goddamn right. And O.J. Simpson is proof positive that Arnold Schwarzenegger was right, though. If it bleeds, we can kill it. And apparently, not having problems. Like, just saying. Just saying. I don't know if the O.J. trial or Predator happened first, but it might be worth looking into. God damn, dude, my brain is fucked. My brain is warped, dog. My brain is warped. That and I have taken some nasty dumps in my life. Be real honest with you. Like, there have been some killers. My beef is strong. Dude. Again, I never thought, I guess it makes sense when I think that, most women eat like a couple pieces of fucking toast, a bag of chips, and coffee over the course of a day. But
Yeah.
sweet Jesus, come on. Same thing. Like, I had this bitch one time tell me straight up, "Oh no, that's not that. Girls don't poop." Bitch, wrong, wrong. They do, and those nasty bitches hover for that too. Can't trust these hoes. But yeah, no.
Hexy said, yes, and you
Oh,
did whilst here in West Virginia, you stinking bitch.
what do you say?
He's calling you out on the logs you left.
I didn't leave a single fucking log in West Virginia. That was part of the problem. That's why Todd and I almost didn't go to West Virginia. Is because McMurray was, fun fact, almost incapable of producing logs at the time. And by almost, I mean incapable of producing logs at the time. It was legitimately very unpleasant.
Oh,
Like, the only reason we were able to drive all the way out there is because I just straight up didn't eat anything for like a day and a half before we left because I was pooping. I could drink water and shit it right out in 10 minutes. It was bad, man. Like, Todd legitimately was like, "Hey, are you sure?" Like, he's like, "Hey, you should talk." He's like, "This is my buddy. He's a doctor. Talk to him." Like, what the shit, man? Like, yeah, I got the poops. It's not like I just know Todd is a very health conscious person, and he likes to be, he's very healthy and very cautious.
yeah.
And so I wanted to, make him aware. Hey, just heads up, been pooping a lot. Just saying. And so he did. He very graciously was like, "Hey, my good buddy's a doctor. Why don't you shoot him a message or two with some of your symptoms?" Which at the same time, I understand Todd. I understand Todd's lack of desire to be the go-between in that
Fair.
Um,
That's
I
fair.
was I was kind of hoping it was going to, because I was just going to send him a picture. Like, well, this is what it looks like. You tell me, buddy. Just send that on to him. But we did not reach that point, fortunately. Although we might get a guest appearance here in a second. The Reed boy is on his way over, I think, to pick up some stuff. So we might get to hear the dulcet tones of the wardrobe, if you know what I mean.
Giggity.
Oh yeah, definitely big giggity, big giggity, full chub for the Toddster. But yeah, let's see here. I'm trying to think.
Oh. Yeah, luckily as backup as backup doorman and barback, I never had to deal with diving into restrooms.
Homeboy, I was the cook, and I still got fucked over by that. Bitches be
Charles
nasty.
Charles says this sounds like a proctologist's AA meeting.
Reasonable. You are not wrong, sir. You are not wrong. Yes, my sanity was not long for this world while I worked there, I'll tell you what.
Do y'all remember movie Cannonball Run, where Dom DeLuise and Burt Reynolds are figuring out how they're going to drive fast across America, and they get an ambulance?
What, do they just run code the entire time?
Yeah, pretty much.
Joke's on them, man.
So they had to get a doctor. Turns out they get this proctologist who's got this big fucking syringe. It says the only two tools I need is this. He holds up the syringe, and this right here. He holds up his middle finger.
Jesus.
Oh god, that is such a good movie.
Yeah.
Oh. Of course, it has Adrian Barbeau in it in a skin tight jumpsuit.
That makes it, I think that actually officially qualifies it as a great movie.
Yes. Yes.
If not, it certainly gets close.
Yeah, Farrah Fawcett Majors, or at that time, just Farrah Fawcett was in there.
Nice.
It had Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. Go ahead.
Speaking of women lacking accountability, she ever apologized to Ronald Reagan?
I have no idea.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah, Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. played priests driving a Ferrari.
Nice. Holy shit! Nice. Nice.
Such a good movie.
I watched a little YouTube like short documentary recently about a doctor or a dude who did the Cannonball Run in a GMC Sierra that he built a pressurized fuel tank into the bed of. Huh. That was pretty fucking cool. Like, that was pretty slick. Talk about a cool rig, man. Like, but nobody thinks about doing, a long distance drive in a pickup truck. And then he's like, yeah. Apparently he just survived on like liquid IV and, chicken broth and other such things, to the point where he just was pissing out all of his calories and got after it.
Yeah.
Which is it's smart. Because then it's just, piss jugs and stuff he can drink, and he's trucking along. I'd imagine a fair amount of some sort of stimulant played a part in that because, yeah, old school trucker stuff. But whatever. If it works, it works. Man, where the hell is the Reed boy? I even put on pants for this.
All I know is that Reed boy ain't right.
That is true. There's something ain't right about that Reed boy. That is 100% true. Um, let's see here. I can never. There it is. Okay. But come on, Toddy boy, Toddy poo poo, Toddy pee pee poo poo head.
Need
Where are you, little buddy?
to need to put a tag tracker on him.
Yeah, a little. We need to just tuck a air tag into his foreskin or something.
Yeah,
Seems legit.
it, get it get it in his prison pocket.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh God.
An air tag. You could just shove an iPhone or two up there. While we're at it, might as well have a Bluetooth speaker and everything.
Hmm.
But come on, Toddy.
Yeah,
On the bright side, it is a beautiful night, so this really isn't too bad.
yeah. It is 81 here. We're actually gonna get a low of 72 tonight.
Yeah, the second to last night I was out, or the second to last week we were out on the trail. We had a couple of nights in the mid to low 60s. That shit was cold.
Yeah, after being at in the mid 90s.
Speaking of the Reed boy, here we go.
Hey, hey.
Just push.
Hey, buddies.
Hey, buddies, hang on a minute.
Oh, sorry.
You can. Oh, that's not the right thing. Or
That's good.
it's because I've been cleaning stuff out. But there's the Reed boy,
Hey, Toddles. How you
the
doing, buddy?
legendary Reed boy.
What's up,
Look at him.
man?
Look at him go. Look at him go.
All right, someone's going inside.
Yeah.
Man.
Norm's got 71 with rain.
I'm gonna mute for a minute, Chris, while I explain this stuff to Toddy.
All right. So, yeah, we've got well, like I said, this weekend we're going to be over in Illinois. Um, and of course, it's looking like it's going to want to rain over there while we're packing. Um, hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't get too bad. And then back over here, um, Sunday. Hopefully, when we get over here, it's not going to be doing any raining. So, yeah, looks like it's pretty damn hot over in Mutt's neck of the woods. 109 right now. 116 for the high. Um, calling for severe thunderstorms all weekend here. Not surprising as we have had storms left, right, and center. And Scala's got it going on with gray skies and a sweltering 60 degrees. 60 is a little cool for my likes. I'll take 71 and humid. You can keep the rain, but or send. Well, I would say send the rain down to Texas, but they are in no need of rain right now. Um, that little incident raised the canyon lake level by 12 feet in roughly 36 hours. Um, Okay, I was unmuted. Okay, good. Woo! Summer in Seattle. It was on a Tuesday this year. What's interesting is Austin. I don't know about San Antonio, but Austin went the entire month of June without hitting 100, which hasn't happened in like forever. So they got that going for them, which is nice. So, anywho, oh, excuse me. Yeah, June was pretty much cooler than normal for just about everybody, I think, and really really wet. Um, we had a lot of rain. The Missouri River is well above normal going through Kansas City. It's not out of the banks by any means, but it is definitely up. So is the Mississippi as it flows past Hannibal and Louisiana, Missouri. Uh, yeah, March and April weather in June. That tracks. That tracks. So I think we're going to have McMurray hop back on for just a minute once he's done chatting with Toddles, and we're going to go ahead and close the night out. I want to thank everybody once again for showing up, Nord and Scala and Jeffy. Reese popped in for a little bit, my buddy Gordon. Of course, we had Chris Long and Charles and Telemachus and Nguyen, of course. Um, yeah, so fun was had by all, I believe. Fun was had by all. So, oh,
See ya.
so
Bye,
yeah, we're gonna
guys.
go ahead and wrap it up, guys.
Sounds
See
good.
you, Toddy.
See ya.
Buddy.
Bye, guys.
All right. All right, guys. As always, until next time, we'll see you on the flip side. Take care.